Hey, what's going on, everybody? Okay, thank you for coming back to another broadcast over here at the Ellis Network. Now, last night I did a video talking about I wanted to know who the Louisiana man was that tried to go into North Korea for political purposes and the reasoning for it. I still can't find no ties. Nothing. Even updated, I went to bed again. Like I said last night, when we're sleeping, they're living their day over there. And throughout their day, there's no evolution of that story. I can't find, not yet. Doesn't mean that it's not out there. It's just I just woke up not too long ago. I can hop on quick to see if there's anything mainstream coming out about it, and there's not. But there's new updates with the North Korea soldier that defected to the South. Now we know that he defected yesterday around 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. their time, North Korea's time. And when the article was first coming out, we know that he defected into the South and he was being shot at by his own military members. It was being reported that he was shot in the arm and in the shoulder, and he was in the hospital. Now, new information is coming out, 24 hours later. And I've said this before, guys. I don't really like saying concrete evidence when a story first breaks, because as the day progresses, new information comes out and the story evolves. So now the new information about this soldier was that he was shot at more than 40 times. They heard 40 gunshots going off. That's what alerted South Korean officials. They found this man, I believe it was 50 meters from the village of Panmunjom on Monday. Okay, they extracted 5 bullets from him. That's what it's being stated right now. Let me see if I can find that. Again, I'm going to post these articles that I'm reading to you guys, so you guys can read it yourselves. But they're saying that 5 bullets extracted. South Korea military gave more details on the soldier's condition on Tuesday. Until this morning, we heard he had no consciousness and was unable to breathe on his own, but his life can be saved. So he's on life support. He's critically injured. We don't know. They say that he'll make it through, and if he does, I'm pretty sure we'll get an understanding as to more why he defected. We all know what life, what we exposed life is like in North Korea. So I mean, like, I'm leaning towards, just a shitty life, but I could be wrong. Now, one of my subscribers, he brought up, he was commenting on the video about it, and he was talking about, can you imagine the family that got left behind? And it really got me thinking for a minute. Like, we know Kim Jong-un and his dynasty. They just don't give a shit. His regime. We know Kim to kill his own family members. And they'll go out and kill their own people. Now, with a soldier that defected, and they've known of this soldier to defect, obviously I can guarantee they know which soldier it was. And I can guarantee that they probably know his family. So I can only hope that his family's okay. Again, like I said, he's a North Korean, but at the end of the day, guys, region or not, he's still a human being, and he had a reason for wanting to leave North Korea. So I can only hope that his family's okay, that was left behind, his loved ones. It's definitely a scary thought to think of. Can you imagine defecting from the United States? I mean, think about how life would be like in America if we had a dictatorship like North Korea. And imagine you leaving everything behind, your friends, your family, your loved ones, just so you can escape the tyranny. Can you imagine the thoughts that would be going through your head? So I can only imagine, I'm only going to say I hope that the family members are okay. I hope that they don't go after them. But also at the same time, we just don't know. So I'm going to post an article in the description for this about the North Korea soldier, with a little bit more updated information about the five bullets, his injuries, how he's in critical condition. They say that he's supposed to live, but right now we just don't know. Another thing I want to bring up to you guys in the recent videos that I brought out is that I said that there was literature. And I got to give props to my mother for bringing me this. She sent me this today. And this was being talked about on one of her forums earlier today. And she sent it to me. I sent it to my other profile so I could have it. And now I'm able to bring it out to you guys. But we tried to tie in connections between ISIS and Antifa. I've said that there's literature out there explaining this, that's saying it. Now again, guys, now with me, you guys know I talk about what's being talked about. I don't make no conspiracies. Everything I read to you guys is not saying that it's 100% true. I just like bringing the facts that are being discussed around the world to you guys, okay? So, you know, one of my listeners yesterday, he was commenting on my videos saying a lot of my stuff that I put out there is fake news. Again, that's not for me to judge. I'm here to show you guys what's being talked about, whether or not it's fake news, real news. This is stuff that's being said. So, again, that's up to you guys and the listener to believe it or not. I'm not the type of person to say, you know what, Planet X is going to crash into Earth next week. You know, grab your tinfoil hats and dig a hole. I'm not going to be that kind of guy. I'm just bringing out to you guys what's being talked about. And this comes from the dailymail.com. It says U.S. left-wing groups traveled to Germany to the G2 summit last July to meet with Al-Qaeda and ISIS leaders to plot and plot the destruction of President Trump's secret FBI investigation reveals. Okay, now this is coming from a best-selling author, Edward Klein. He's talking about an all-out war, the plot to destroy Trump. I guess that's his new book. And he's bringing out evidence in this book that actually show Antifa being tied with ISIS and Al-Qaeda. And we've said it before, you know, when we talked about Antifa, about how there's a lot of similarities between Antifa and Al-Qaeda. You know, Antifa likes to cover their faces, you know, sort of like ISIS. Like, we get why ISIS does. I mean, that's the whole Islamic thing. And Antifa, you know, they just like to do it because they're renegades and they don't want to get caught. But, you know, there's a lot of similarities. You know, Antifa and Black Lives Matter and all those movements, they want to go and destroy statues and Confederate monuments to erase history. Antifa likes to go around and destroy religious monuments for their religion. So, you know, there's a lot of ties between both. And again, you know, we all know that Obama administration's created, again, this is my theory, you don't have to agree with me, but I seriously believe that the Obama administration is the one that created and funded ISIS. And now that, you know, Trump's in office, everyone thought around the world that Trump wasn't going to get in office, and he beat them at their own game. So why not have, you know, secretly fund a terrorist organization within the country to overthrow, you know, to make your point. Again, I mean, there's a lot of evidence. If you guys would just sit back and open your mind for a minute and listen to what other people are saying, instead of being so closed-minded like half of these Americans are out there, you know, you can kind of tie it together. Like, it would blow your mind. Again, I hear my child crying, so I'm going to get off here. I'm going to post the articles in the description for you guys to read these. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Share the videos. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell notification. I'll be back later on tonight to talk a little bit more about this when I have some time. Again, I got to go do daddy duty, so peace.